There you go. Good morning. My name is Tom. I come to you from the Rustic log cabin in Northern Maine. Welcome to my cabin today. And welcome out to the woodshed. I got something I want to show you. Look at that guy. Now why am I showing you that fish today? Look at the mouth on him. Holy smokes. Well, I'm doing something today that I don't normally do. I'm going to recommend a product. If you noticed on my channel, I don't do a whole lot of reviews. I do that intentionally because I will not review, I will not recommend, and I will not tell you about a product that I don't use myself or that I could stand behind. If you want a bunch of those kind of videos, they're all over YouTube. They're very easy to find with the other creators. They will push any product that they can find, no matter what, you know, so I don't do that. But what I want to talk about today, because I'm getting older, cleaning big fish, and that's why I showed you that big fish. Cleaning big fish like the pike, like this big bass, also the big Lakers, the 8-pounders. My hands are getting old. That's because I'm getting old. And filleting them is, you know, it's a lot of work, believe it or not. It's not really making the fillet that's a lot of work, but cutting through the fins, just all of that stuff. Cutting the head off, especially on a big fish, is a lot of work. So back a couple months ago, I got doing a little bit of online researching like everybody nowadays does, and I come across this thing. This is an old-timer knife. That's what it's called, old-timer. If you want to look it up, just get online, Google old-timer, and you will come up with these fillet knives. I have never owned an electric knife in my life until now. What I'm going to do, I recommend this knife. Now, like I said, I don't do that very often. You want that crap, go to other channels. But with all the bass that we put in the freezer in the last month for fish nuggets and the big fish nugget fry and all that stuff, the 8-pound pike that you saw, I have been whipping through them fish with this thing like they're butter. So what I'm going to do, we're going to get up here from the woodshed. I've got 4 nice bass laid out on my workspace over there, and I'm going to go over there and I'm going to show you how this knife works and how I prepare these big fish now for fillets. And these big fish really do make some nice fillets. What I like about this knife is that I can come in from at an angle behind the gills. So you get right down behind the gills, then you flip it over, and then you follow the backbone right down to the tail. You don't have to deal with the fins on the top of the fish. You don't have to deal with the fins on the bottom of the fish. So what you're left with is just nice fillet all the way to the tail. And then you take, because it comes to a point like a knife, you scoop out the rib cage, what's in your fillet, and you're left with a nice boneless fillet on these bass, which I can then cut into 1-inch cubes. And that's why I'm doing a review on this knife, just because I want to share it with you guys how I do these fish. So without spending any more time here, let's get over to the fish table. Alright, now when these fish are all filleted, that's what they look like. I put them in one of these vacuum seal bags. I end up with 2 nice fillets. That's enough for me to eat. And then if I want to, I can chunk that up into fish nuggets, or I can batter the whole thing, deep fry the whole thing, put that between 2 slices of bread on a bun, and I can make myself a nice fish sandwich. However you want to do it, that's what I like about fresh fish out in the lake. Now here's the biggest one. We'll set him aside for a minute, and there's no rocket science here in how to do this. This is the old-timer fish fillet knife that I just picked up. I really like it. Now what I do, see, usually you got to come down both sides of the back, pull out that fin. This fin right here is another hard one. This one's really hard to cut through, as well as cutting the head off of these fish. So what I do now, come in at an angle, start turning it. I like to put just a little bit on a little bit of an angle on the blade, and look at that. What I'm doing is coming right in behind this back of the gill, down to the neck, flip it over, follow the backbone, and look at that. Now what's left is I don't waste this. This will get turned into my eel bait in the springtime. There's a little bit left here on the backbone, but everything else is nice and clean. So that will get put into a freezer bag as well, and that will be put in my freezer. So then you come over here. There you can still see. This is the rib cage that we want to scoop out. Go underneath. Hello. If you have a calling to help support this channel, then check out my link right above my head, the Patreon channel. And for $5 a month, you can definitely help to push the message of the East Grand Woodsman channel. Everything about the great outdoors here in the state of Maine. And I will see you back in the video. Now what you want to do is you want to run your finger right here. Make sure you don't feel any bones. If you do, you haven't scooped out enough. Come back in, scoop that out of there. When you run your fingers there, you shouldn't feel any bones. So now, we've got the skin. So we want to get rid of that. Very easy to do. Usually I do this on a meat board. Maybe I'll go get the meat board. See that? We got a nice boneless fish fillet. Okay, so this is the rib cage. We're going to go down. We're going to just scoop it out. Now what you want to do, run your finger right here. I can feel a little bit of nub there. That means there's a bone. That's the only place there's a bone. You just got to come in, scoop out just a little bit more. Now I still got a little bit. There you go. So then we want to just get rid of the skin on the other side. And look at that. Out of that fish right there, got 2 nice fillets, boneless. And that's what's in there. I've got one reason for you to belong to this channel. This is the second one of these fish that I've caught in the last 2 days. This is an 8-pound lake trout, 27 inches long. So subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff. This is all that this channel is about. Fishing, hunting, anything to do with the great outdoors is what I cover in this channel. So I'm looking forward to meeting you. Subscribe to the channel, leave me a comment, and you have a great day. See what a nice job that does? Now there's some good eating. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to soak these in the refrigerator in a saltwater bath for 5 days. Look at that. That's a meal in itself. And that is how the East Grand Woodsman deals with finding next week's suppers. I hope you enjoyed the review of that old-timer knife. Can't say enough good about it. If there was one problem that I see with it is I wish that the trigger was a little more sensitive. It's like I said, you know, arthritis in the hands. It would be nice if that trigger was just a little bit more sensitive. But that's my only drawback with it. I guess they do make a cordless one. My father has purchased a cordless one, so he can take it right out in the boat with him and fillet his fish right out in the boat before he even brings them home. So, but I think I mentioned it in the video. All of those fish carcasses do not go to waste. Absolutely nothing that I do here at the Rustic Log Cabin goes to waste. All of those fish carcasses will be now bagged up into freezer bags, 2 fish per bag, and they become my eel bait for eel fishing here come spring. I have 25 eel traps that I put out early spring, so we'll see how that all goes. But meantime, I'll see you next week. Thank you for joining me with coffee, and you have a great week.